We've been straight up lied to. They said attempted delivery.
There was not even any attempts whatsoever.
And that exhausting, constant logistical fail, it just becomes very overwhelming. That's just one of the 7 hardest truths we've learned living here in BGC. And you need to know these 7 truths before you decide to move here.
So we've been in BGC for 7 months now. The honeymoon phase is definitely over. Now, the reality phase comes in. We've gone from being tourists to now being actual residents here.
And that shift comes with a whole new set of rules. This update is one of our most unfiltered, honest update yet. Okay, so we've broken it down into 7 lessons. Here we go.
All right, so we'll start with the most frustrating one, Amazon or online delivery. As you know, in the States, you go on Amazon.com, you add to cart, and bam, 2-3 days later it shows up, maybe 7 days later. Here, it's a little bit different. You go online, you get whatever you want. Let's say magnet tiles, which is the example that
that's the one.
used.
Yeah.
For here, 7-10 days supposed to be, and that becomes attempted delivery number 1, attempted delivery number 2, then the order gets canceled.
We would get numerous delivery attempts and they never showed up. They never came. There's no proof that they even attempted to deliver anything. We would communicate via text message and email and nothing. What would happen is you get 3 delivery attempts. After the 3rd delivery attempt, then they will supposedly ship it back to Amazon. So then we would get a refund back, or we would have to contact Amazon to get a refund because we didn't receive the package. Definitely, that became very frustrating.
You said before, the online presence here is not the best. That's why there's malls everywhere. So online is not really, obviously it exists here, but it's not so big as compared to the US.
And then we attempted to do it again. This time we were assured by Amazon that they've contacted the carrier and everything has been sorted out. And this time we were messaging back and forth, and we incentivized them to offer to give them
a higher tip. Even though tip is not necessary, like, hey, we'll give you more, or we'll give you a higher amount of tip if you can deliver the package.
And that time it worked.
Yeah.
So that's the frustrating thing, is what you're used to in the US of getting a package very easily. They just drop it off to your front door. It doesn't necessarily happen here that way. At least that's what we experienced.
We've had other friends here now that they've had no issues with their package. And they live literally at the condo across the street from us. So I guess it just depends. But literally, we ordered it 3 times before we actually came. We're still adjusting. That's part of our adjustment, is not relying on online packaging or online ordering.
Online,
Therefore, again, the mall here is huge.
Here's a lesson in paying attention before you check out.
Let's say you go to a grocery store, let's say Landers, and you get a cup like this. Well, if that cup has no SKU in the US, what they would do is they would look it up, the computer, boop, 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 shows up, right? Here, if there's no SKU on here, you're literally SOL. What they're going to do is they're going to say, sir, we're going to check the SKU for you, and they'll have to go find it. And 9 out of 10 times, it's probably the last one, or there's no SKU available. So therefore, what we've done is, if there's no SKU, you're stuck, and you leave it at the register. That means you come back the next day to get it again if there's SKU on it.
It just takes so long for them to come back.
And there's no method on the computer for them to check. Like, they can't type in plastic cup and it doesn't show up because there's no method at all. So we quickly learned that you want to make sure the merchandise has a SKU, because otherwise you're holding up the line, everyone's waiting for you, and you're literally waiting 5, 7. One time we saw a family waiting 10 minutes because of the SKU.
We traded the big house in Vegas for a high-rise condo here in the Philippines. And the lesson here is simple. You get what you pay for in terms of soundproofing. Our experience so far living in a condo unit, the windows, there's no soundproofing whatsoever. The walls are fairly thin. You can hear pretty much everything. And then also when we were cooking, or even just being in the condo, you can smell when your neighbors are cooking. You can smell the food inside your unit, which is really strange.
Yeah, we're like, oh, who's making Filipino food, or who's making
Yeah.
this type of dish? Because like, oh, we can smell it like we're cooking in our.
Yes, and we even have to turn on the vent in the kitchen to get rid of the smell.
Yeah.
And so that was our first, our first experience living in a condo and having that first-hand experience of what it's like. Also, you smell it in the hallways. You smell the food in the hallways. You can hear your neighbors. You know, Jerwin is getting out of the elevator and he can hear us all the way in our unit, and the kids are yelling and screaming, and he can hear everything.
So if anything, they can probably hear us more because we're the loud one.
Yeah.
So it's really for their issue.
Right.
Granted, our floor, there's only there's 2 people on our floor now, and one is a vacation house, so they're hardly there. So in general, like I was 80% of the time, we have the floor to ourselves.
Our condo unit specifically, the building, it's less than 40% occupied right now. So we're really lucky that we don't have a ton of neighbors yet. But definitely you can hear you know, chairs moving upstairs when they are home. You can hear them moving their chairs. Sometimes you can hear them walking as well. So definitely something to get used to living in a condo versus living in a single family detached home.
Yeah. What she said about the window, in the US, the windows are dual pane, so essentially they're soundproof. Here, they told us it was soundproof, but we're on a higher floor and we feel like we can hear the conversation from the people like on the ground floor.
Yeah, we could hear them laughing, not necessarily like the exact words. We can hear laughing. We can even hear the dogs barking. It's just something really different.
Something to get used to.
Yeah, you got to get used to that kind of lifestyle.
You know what everybody says about the Filipinos are really nice? Well, they're not wrong. Our culture is very, very endearing, sweet, very, very, very kind people. And we have a few examples of that. So Kuya Aiden's learning how to use the escalator on his own. Well, this one instance at the store, we thought he was confident. So Elma is carrying baby Ava, and I have the stroller, and Kuya Aiden's right behind me, right? He's like, oh, I'll go on it myself. Well, Elma's going down already, and I'm starting to go down, and Kuya Aiden froze. He literally froze.
He got scared.
And elevator's moving, so I'm like 4 or 5 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps, and he's frozen. I can't go back because I have the big old stroller. Well, this nice family literally picked him up and took him all the way down the escalator and gave it to us. Super nice, like super nice family, and just you can just tell that they were like genuinely, like honestly so nice, and they were like laughing about it. We were laughing about it. It was just so endearing, and that's just one example. Another example is when we were walking with a stroller. Well, we would drop, what was it? One of his not the iPad. It was iPad.
Yeah.
And literally, like, this guy chased us for like a block, saying, excuse me, iPad, or your thing. We have numerous stories like that as far as people still being so kind. Granted, there are nice people everywhere in the world, right? Same thing with the US. But here, I feel like it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because when they pet our kid's head like this, right? And they pat him in the back, it's so endearing.
Yeah.
If anyone touches my kid like that in the US, I'd be like, whoa, that's
like,
too
no,
close.
we need our bubble. We need our space. Yeah.
But here, it's like a lot of the workers, a lot of the staff, just in the restaurants, in the coffee shops, they're just super friendly and always waving and just, hello.
They love kids here.
Yeah.
You could tell they really love kids. Anytime that they see kids, they always have a smile.
Yeah.
Whereas in the US, they see kids more of like a nuisance.
Yeah, to some extent.
And like a burden. They kind of just frown at kids a lot, or our kids will say hi and they don't say hi back. But here, it's very friendly. They always say hi. They try to play with them. That's how, like, it's just so different.
Yeah. And that's one of my pet peeves, because when we go out in the US, like when we go to Costco, for example, our kids are waving at everybody. And one of the things I dislike the most is when these adults just look at the kids with a blank stare and not say hi, no acknowledgement whatsoever. Here, they're going out of their way to say hi to the kids.
Yeah, to play with them. Yeah. It's just very genuine kindness that it's very contagious to be around. And
It's lovely. The next observation that we have is just navigating people living in this constant digital bubble.
Another pet peeve of mine is people not being aware or not paying attention to their environment. And here it's so prominent where everyone, or I can't say everyone, right?
Yeah.
I would say 95% of the people that you see walking, they're head down like this. Like literally head down, walking around. Not aware of their environment. So many times we've actually, we did run over a few people. We ran over people with a stroller.
You have.
Yeah, I ran people with a stroller because I mean we're wide load, right? And we have to use the handicap lane, for the stroller
ramp.
or the ramp for the stroller. So, and people are just not aware because their head is down. So many times it's kind of funny. We've scared people because we're just rolling along and they don't see us till the last second. I know, like a lot of countries, again, it's the same issue, but I've never seen it to be this much, where literally so many people have their head down on their phone.
Or is this like where life has come to now? If you look around, you just notice like people literally live in their phones. They're living in this digital world, not paying attention to the real one that they're in. So it's just such an interesting observation here that we've noticed. They're crossing the street with their phones, and
well, it's not just walking, right? So when we take Grab, we've seen our Grab driver on Facebook while he's driving.
Right, they're watching videos or FaceTiming with family members
while they're driving us in the back seat. Another thing was there's a lot of motorcycles here doing Grab orders as well. The motorcycles are on their phone, and if you guys haven't driven in Manila, it's nuts driving here. I mean, of course, they're professional drivers because they're like really good. So you guys let us know to see what your thoughts are, because are we just tripping out about that, or is it like, do you guys see the same thing wherever you live?
Okay, so here's a retail lesson. The malls here is the center of life.
So when you compare a mall in the US compared to a mall in the Philippines, well, let me actually rewind that. You can't even compare either malls. So the malls in the US, they're a dying breed, right? Brick and mortar in the US is dying because online presence is huge in the US, which we highlighted earlier with Amazon taking over the world. Here, the mall is, like I almost said, it's the end all and be all. So there's most malls here, and actually every single mall we've been to has a legit large grocery store. Buy fruits, meat, everything, right? Like a normal Albertsons, Safeway store in the mall. Obviously, you can do everything in the mall as well, such as getting your hair cut, getting your nails did, hair did,
massage, spa, skincare,
teeth cleaning. Like the mall is literally like
dentists, doctors,
everything. Checkups, your blood work.
There's a church.
Yeah, that's a big one. So just like every mall has a grocery store, every mall here we have seen has a church. I've never seen a church in the US in any malls ever. If you guys know one, tell us, because where we're from in Las Vegas, so Nevada, California, we have never seen a mall with a grocery store or a church.
No, not even. I can't think of one. I really can't. We're from California as well. I can't think even in California.
No. So to sum it up, mall is the end all and be all here. That's why the Philippines has the largest mall in the world. The Philippines also has the largest IKEA in the world.
One thing to keep in mind though, although there is a grocery store in most of the malls here in the Philippines, the prices vary widely. And so you'll definitely have to check prices everywhere you go, because oftentimes it is priced higher than other grocery stores like Landers and SNR. The Mitsukoshi Mall, there's a grocery store there, and that's one of the most expensive ones that we've seen. For example, the strawberries there are $11?
Yeah, it was like 400 or 500 pesos more
than the standard strawberries that you would get at other grocery stores.
And it's the same containers. So.
Yes. So after about 7 months here living in the Philippines, what is the ultimate lesson? So for us, it's all about the trade-off. So we're exchanging
the hustle in the US for a slower pace of life here. We're exchanging superficial relationships in the US for meaningful community-like relationships here in the Philippines. We're exposing our kids to the culture, to the kindness and the warmth that we've received. The move has been hard. It's been full of surprises and a lot of challenges that we were not expecting. But I think that it also builds resilience and it forces you to problem solve and to work together as a unit. It's also allowed us to let go of the expectations that we had. But for us, the trade-off is absolutely 100% worth it. With that said, thanks for watching and subscribe to follow our journey.